When we had last left Team Bald, they finally descended back into the lowest levels of the counting house bank. And it was there. Well, first they had to solve an incredibly difficult super lock puzzle. But following that, they traveled down deep where they met Rakath, the head banker, and none other than the legendary hero himself, Minsk, who was true enough run afoul of the Absolute and was being manipulated by a doppelganger, posing as none other than Jaheira. Now it was time to go track them down and maybe steal some more stuff from the bank. This is Baldur's Gate 3. Welcome back. Let's see here. Let me unhide that. Good. And I went and checked. And I think we should be fine to just give this dude the gold right now, because it's actually two different quests. Right? The one to go track down Minsk and the one to return the money. So I think doing this right here isn't going to lock us out of anything. So, no worries. Okay. But I am going to look through all this.
So Minsk has turned to the Absolute. Maybe there's something to this cult.
No. Is there anything in here? Yeah, all this. Okay. This chest's fire-hardened wood and thick iron reinforcements offer exceptional protection for any valuables or secrets. Did I look at the keepings of the vault? Yeah, I did. Okay. I think I did. Well, how about we hit all these here on this southerly end? First. Do I have the key? I don't. I will pick it. I really need to remember to replace this ring, though. It's kind of screwing me over a bit. Okay. Fortunately, we have so many thief tools saved up. This is the time to use them. Oh my god. The long arm of the Gur. Oh, it's a heavy crossbow. Just what I need. Okay. Revenant's Scourge. When used against undead creatures, this weapon has a plus 1d4 bonus to attack and damage rolls. When the boy was 7, he was frightened badly by a vampire spawn during a public burning. Seized by the flames, the creature didn't shrivel up. It swelled and burst like a squeezed leech. Brains splattered the boy's shoes, gray-pink and pulpy. He would never forget it. Oh my god, what the fuck? Okay.
Breathe.
The Gur. Isn't that the group that was looking for a Starian? Was that not them? I think so. Equipping that. I'm gonna send the old one to camp. Good. And I'll have Karlach take the rest there.
Go for a good meal.
Good. Okay.
Still breathing, despite everything.
And let's see. This one, do I have a key? I do not.
Right
Picking it.
tool will do the trick.
Get guidance again. Not good enough. Okay, try it again. Yeah, I think we got enough picks to more than get through all of this. Right?
What's the story?
And then Karlach, you take a look. Janet's hat. Oh. Advantage on persuasion and deception checks. The corner of modest fashion that this hat currently occupies might well be called optimistic. What a weird hat. Yeah, I don't think there's any world in which I would ever equip this. Right? Unless I knew a difficult persuasion or deception check were coming up, or like I save scummed or whatever. Right, like I saw one was coming up, I had quick save right before interacting with someone. Because otherwise, why would I give up? Right, you have to calculate for like okay, could I suddenly be thrown into combat and benefit from a combat hat? Or could I suddenly be thrown into a situation, not just dialogue, but to where I need to do a deception or persuasion check and then benefit from this one? And I feel like every time the combat hat is going to win, you know? There's just no situation in which I have a suitable combat hat and choose not to use it over this. Okay, I'm sending it to camp. Perfumed days, passionate nights.
Hells, if I'd have known there was that much coin back here, I'd have robbed the place myself.
A lavender-scented diary of florid prose that describes Lady Wisteria Janet's brief but torrid affair with a young scapegoat named Enver Gortash. A typical excerpt reads as below. When he held me in his burly yet tender arms, it was as if the years melted away, and I was once again the reigning debutante of the upper city's soirees and cotillions. What matter if the diamond ring I gifted him, heirloom of the Janus for generations, was worth more than the value of the mansion? It looked so well, glittering on his long, strong fingers, and his glowing smile when he slipped it on was worth a dozen mansions or more. Jesus. Is this real or is it fiction? Diary. Okay. Yeah. Huh. I'm gonna send that to me. That might be important to have. Adding that to wares. And then over here.
Keep going.
Vault 1. Hey, we got a key for that. Nymph Cloak. Dominate person. Oh, is this from the courtesan or whatever, right? Remember in the like spa room? Dominate person, the charmers, seducers, philanderers, flirts, gallants, beguilers, ravishers, rogues, tempters, and tantalizers of the Feywild all share one common trait. They make you feel as if you are the only diamond among the drift. I don't know if dominate person is that good, is it? I mean, that said, it is an enchantment spell. It would work with my ring, wouldn't it? But it also affects humanoids, right? So it may not be that good. Because I already have hold person, which I think is just superior. Right? Yeah, I think hold person is just better. Make a humanoid fight alongside you. Every time the creature takes damage, it makes a wisdom save throw against your domination. Allies cannot be dominated. Like, it is nice to have it on your side. That helps a ton. But I feel like there's no accounting for the fact that it could succeed the wisdom save throw. Whereas that's just not an issue with hold person. And you can upscale it to meet like 3 or 4 people, you know, to where you can crowd control a bunch. Yeah, I don't think it's worthwhile. Okay. Spell Savant Amulet. You gain an additional level 2 spell slot. Oh shit. When on the wrong side of a few sherries, the powerful wizards Bigby and Tensor would sometimes see how many spells they could fit into amulets like this one before they burst. Okay. Maybe I should equip that right now. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Okay. Send that to Karlak. I'm gonna send the cloak to camp.
I can shift next year's interest to this year.
Okay. Sure. Let me also move. Okay, it's already equipped there? Oh, no, I see. Okay. Let me move my current amulet there. Good. Okay.
Well, my prayers weren't much bloody use.
Now, let's check all this. Can I look through the desks down here? Yeah, I can just look through everything. Okay. Vault number 6. Gonna pick it.
Give me trouble now.
Coming out of my wages.
Nice. Give it another roll. There we are.
Another, is it?
Whoa.
Good on you, mate.
What the fuck? Huh. Whose safe is this? Okay. Shield Steward interrogation log. Scroll or letter. Is this Balduran's? Transcript of key passage in the interrogation of Flovis Nuge, steward of the Knights of the Shield. Of the Shield Hall. Blackhand. When did you begin to suspect that Duke Stelmane was not herself? Nuge. I cleared her dinner dishes after a meal of mutton pie, but when I got the dish back to the kitchen, the mutton was brains. Brains? And not sheep brains neither, so I started poking around. In the Oathsong cellar? In the Knight's secret chambers, yes, and I found a cell with a body in it. A corpse. In city prison stripes. A dead state prisoner. If I tell you about this, you're going to let me go, right? Right. It was a condemned criminal, with the top of their head shattered and the brain mostly gone. In Stelmane's rooms. The secret part, yes. That's where she found me. She what? She found me. It found me. At first, I thought she was blue and floating. But then it was just Stelmane. She smiled. And I don't remember anything after that. What? What the fuck? It found me. I thought she was blue and floating, but then it was just Stelmane. Is this about the Emperor? Because they did have relations. Huh. Or something else. Could this be Orin? Blue, though? Have we seen a corpse for Stelmane? Have they found one? We've seen, like, blood all over the place. This is really recent, too. Huh. This could be several things, right? We don't know exactly what yet, I think. Right, it's a little too circumstantial still. But it could be that Stelmane is still alive and is a mind flayer. Just as well, this could have been the Emperor. Or in some way it could have been Orin or a doppelganger, right? Sort of going from most to least likely. Roughly. Okay. I'm sending that to camp. Another parasite specimen. How about this? To take control. Gortash Private Memoir Notes, number 9. To take control. Man, this dude's got... he's got fucking skeletons in his closet. And he's got skeletons in, like, half of Baldur's Gate's closet, right? Like, we're finding shit about this guy everywhere. To take control. We were deep in Mephisto's vault, burgling the crown of Karsus, when I saw, next to the crown, that the wily archdevil had a portfolio labeled Accelerated Grand Design. Oh. I couldn't resist taking that as well. The portfolio contained plans compiled by a mad Alhoun, known only as Blue Apex, for a version of the Illithid Resurgence, a grand design that called for the mass tadpoling of both fiends and enemies, but not to convert the tadpole into mind flayers, but rather to suspend that ceremorphosis under powerful magic, to create a vast and unconscious hive mind commanded by an enhanced elder brain. My mind, trained in the tyrannical tenets of Bane, instantly saw that this was a means to perpetrate a powerful religious hoax. A mass movement, controlled, ultimately, by none other than myself. For who but the chosen of Bane could master so grand a scheme? Huh. Is this our wily archdevil? No. No, this is a... Because our wily archdevil is not an archdevil. Speaking of Raphael. This is the one who... Yeah, Mephisto himself. Huh. So that's what they wanted it for, too. I think the real mystery and question right now is, where is Mephisto in all of this? Right? How long ago was it that the Crown of Karsus was taken from Mephisto's super vault? And why is Mephisto not coming knocking for all of this? Or perhaps Mephisto is, and is using someone or something to do it, and we're just not aware, right? Like, that's the biggest opening in all of this so far, is like, how does Mephisto play into this, and why are they seemingly not playing into it right now? Right? Like, as far as any hellish player is concerned in this great, in this game of ours, it's Raphael, right? Mephisto doesn't seem to be aware somehow? Like, how does Mephisto not know? Unless it was deliberate. Right? Could it be that Mephisto wants all of this to happen in the Primaterial plane? Or is Hell even... Is Avernus even, like, separate from the Primaterial? Is Avernus part of the Primaterial plane? I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they exist together, right? Either way, maybe Mephisto wants all of this to go down here with the tadpoling, with the Chosen, the Dead Three, and all of that to happen. And then Mephisto shows up after all that work is done, retakes the crown, and then wields it in Avernus? Maybe? I don't know. That is very mysterious. Why there's seemingly little to no involvement from Mephisto right now. Okay, the Astral Prism Heist. Man, we're getting some juicy shit here. Gortash Private Memoir Notes, number 16. The Astral Prism Heist. After that dream I had about the Githyanki threat to our accelerated grand design, my research led me to pore through the old archives left behind in Moonrise Towers by the High Heralds. These records included some surprising early sources, both Githyanki and Githzerai, that mentioned a relic or artifact called the Astral Prison, or Prism. Though the source of its power was unstated, this artifact was reputed to be able to project a field that disrupted Illithid psionics. Such an artifact would clearly be an existential threat to both our absolute ambitions and the grand design. All three of the ancient sources agreed that the Astral Prism was in the hands of the Githyanki Lich Queen Vlaakith. Thus was born the plan to send a tadpoled strike team in a regrown nautiloid piloted by the Emperor to steal the Astral Prism from Vlaakith. Oh. So that's what was going on. That's the start of the game, right? And where it went awry is that the Emperor just decided Did the Emperor always have autonomy? Right? We were told that the Emperor started out initially somehow having autonomy, right? Which we don't know exactly how that is, why they didn't enter into, like, Mind Flayer mode, right? But if we take it at face value, maybe I don't understand the full workings there. If the Emperor started out with autonomy, did they maybe lose autonomy somewhere in the middle? And then when they went to go steal the Astral Prism for the Chosen, for the Dead Three, did it, like, reignite their autonomy? What made them decide to like, screw over every party there, right? I guess the same that's driving us, right? Because the Emperor is meant to be a parallel to the player character, right? Just as, you know, there's parallels all over the place when it comes to, like, the character building of the companions. Yeah. Okay. So they just so happened to be tasked with getting the prism, and then the Emperor decided, okay, fuck everybody, I'm going to make a power play myself. Right? Okay. That is, however, something that we didn't know, right? That somehow the Dead Three knew that the Astral Prism was in the hands of Rakath, and they somehow used the Emperor to go and get the prism. Why the Emperor, though? Right? Why not themselves? Or even better, why not a Githyanki? Right? If you could find a traitor amid the Githyanki, why not them? Why would it be the Emperor? Did the Emperor have knowledge of it? Somehow? Yeah, I don't know. I'm having difficulty connecting the dot to the Emperor. Right? Like, why use the Emperor? Like, I don't know. Why not do it themselves or have someone better suited to it? Right? Like, using someone who outwardly appears to be a mind flayer to slip into Githyanki space and nab the Astral Prism. That seems way more risky than, like, I don't know, literally anybody else, you know? Even a fucking human, I feel like, would be more under the radar. Okay. I'm going to send that to camp. Maybe I'm just not fully comprehending it. Right? Maybe I just don't fucking get it.
Breathe. Breathe.
Okay, over here. Number 5. Let's pick this. Nope, nothing. Let's try it again. Nothing again.
Now I've got a story for her.
Got a natural 20.
So me
Okay. Oh. Raven Guard Scourger. Commanding Strike class action. Direct an ally to strike a foe. The ally uses a reaction on their next turn to make a weapon attack. It consumes an action and bonus action. It's just a weapon attack. So would it proc extra attack? The extra attack effect? Or is that only when using an action? Can make an additional free attack after making an unarmed or weapon attack. If you gain the extra attack feature from more than one class, they don't add together. It sounds like it would work. That's pretty powerful, no? It would need to be on someone who's a bit more support, though, right? Like, if you had a support cleric who isn't dealing much damage themselves, other than, like, for instance, Spirit Guardians, where they can do a decent amount of damage by just moving close. This might actually be good. Right? But otherwise, I don't know. I don't know that giving up both an action and bonus action is worth it. Right, because ideally you would be like a support person who currently doesn't need to do anything. So you can pretty much sacrifice your turn, that way someone else gets another attack. And you'd probably give it to like a fighter or someone with extra attack, let alone improved extra attack, which fighters do have. Duke Ravengard's father was the sort of man who works with his hands and communicates in grunts. In his heart, his son vowed to do better. But when Will was born, Ravengard felt a strange gravity that drew him away from his son. Huh. What the fuck? So he really is kind of like not an absentee father, but more so that like he like he went deep into his work, right? I don't know. I guess he could read in multiple ways. Okay. I guess I'll send it to Will. Send that to Karlak. A Father's Diary. This book is redolent. Okay. Let's read it. This is a worn and much-handled journal in which older Ravengard recorded his favorite moments of his beloved son, Will. A typical entry follows. 15 Flame Rule. Spent the afternoon with Will on the docks, down by the Water Queen's house, relaxing on the planks, though the harbor fog swallowed the sun as usual. Will asked if the temple wave servants were real mermaids, and I told him they certainly looked the part, but real mermaids could breathe underwater and rarely showed their faces above it. Then I'm going to swim down and catch one, he shouted, and dove off the end of the dock. He kept trying to hold his breath and stay under the surface, but eventually he got exhausted, and I had to haul him out. Minus his new shoes, alas. But I'll never forget his smile, as he said, I saw one, Father. I saw a mermaid, a real mermaid. Then his eyes grew misty and he added, she was beautiful. Oh my god, how sentimental. I'm sending that also to Will. We should probably talk to him. Maybe we should talk to everybody, actually. Okay. Check over here. Hang on, before I try that. Do I have the key? I do not. Alrighty. There we are. Yeah, got 34.
Breathe. Breathe.
Oh, Trident of the Waves.
My clothes for a 10-day.
Okay. The Water Caller. On a hit, create a 2-meter water surface centered around the target. Umberlee, the goddess of the sea, is deeply capricious, intelligent, and not nearly as wet around the edges as her domain might suggest. She often demands sacrificial tribute from sailors, such as their ships, their cargo, and while she's at it, them. What would the benefit of this be? I guess you could combo it with, like, ice, turn it into ice, or electrify it. How good is that? How good is electrifying water? Yeah, I don't know. We haven't really fucked around with that too much. Okay, I'm gonna send it to camp. There we are. Pearl necklace. Tiny rainbows reflect in the pearl's iridescent shine. Pearl necklace. Well-to-do households sometimes let their maids wear pearls, believing that the servant's body heat will increase the pearl's luster. What the fuck? That's fucking weird, dude. That's fucking weird. Dozens of tiny pearls adorn this necklace, knotted in place by clever gnomish hands. Okay.
No one back home will ever believe this.
Wages.
Sure. Let's swap to... Oh, hang on. Do I have my... What do you call it? Active? No, I don't. Well, I may not be able to even cast it here on them. Speak with dead. We'll get it active, though. Right? Corpse is too damaged. Alright, well, it's worth a shot. Oh, there's a corpse up here.
That old elf took 2 guards by us.
Probably get nothing, but that way we'll at least see the glow. Okay, good.
Damn, it's good
And
to be
then,
alive.
let's have Karlak go through their stuff real quick.
Just breathe.
Murderous Cut. Prey upon the weak. This weapon deals an additional 1 to 4 piercing damage against targets with 50% of their HP or fewer. Odd to think that dark gods like Bhaal were once mortal. One wonders if they ever thumbed a wagon ride, thought about the weather, or ate flavored yogurt. There's flavored yogurt in this world? I guess why not, right? Why wouldn't there be? What's to stop you from putting, like, strawberries or whatever in your yogurt? I'm sending that to camp. Add those to wares. Some other daggers here were thrown about.
Maybe
Where did they get so many damn daggers?
Less drama working in the bloody festival.
Okay.
Picking mimic teeth out of my clothes for it.
Over here.
Well, my prayers weren't much bloody use.
Shipment lost notice. Let's read it. The letter is written in a rough, hasty scrawl. Latest load of barrels didn't arrive. No word from Kairos, assuming the worst. Can't wait any longer. The plan must go ahead. Use what you have now. Deal with complications later.
I'm a dead man.
Okay, sending that to camp.
Honk honk.
Yeah, there are more bodies up here. Look through them. Letter from Lady Janeth. God, we might just be in here this whole time just reading shit. Murderous Cut again.
Hells, if I'd have known there was that much coin back here, I'd have
Orders
robbed
from
myself.
Jay. Who is Jay? Janeth, maybe? Jahira? Right, like the faked one?
That old elf took 2 guards by us.
Stone Lord Strike Team. Update on the Counting House operation. We've been tipped off to expect an ambush once we reach the vault, but the guild underestimates us, as usual. And if we maintain coordination, we should be able to shrug it off without casualties. Let the Stone Lord take the lead. If you deal efficiently with the cash guards, there may be time to gather additional funds before we withdraw. Bring everything to the cistern in the sewers. It almost sounds like they really do want the money.
Has turned to the absolute. Maybe there's something to this cult.
Oh, I guess we have a lead now. Right, hence the quest update.
Wait a minute.
Murderous Cut. Guess I'll add that to
Mum
wares.
used to tell me about minstrel Ratterman. Now I've got a story for her.
Anything over here? Check the wooden desk. Oh, I can't reach it. Really? Is it because of the chair? If I move the chair, can I look? No, I can't reach it. Huh, how bizarre. Loading dock chest key. Oh, outside, I guess. We'd seen some of the loading docks.
Well,
Another
my
one.
prayers weren't much bloody use.
Another one. Letter from Lady Janeth. Let's read that. Glitterbeard, you will recall that I deposited a rather important ring in your vault for safekeeping. I may have been premature in locking it away. and have decided I would rather keep it close. I will be along tomorrow to retrieve it. Please have all the necessary arrangements made. Yours, etc. Lady Firilia Janeth. So that's fairly recent. Is that the ring that she gave to Gortash? It's the only ring we really know of. Timura, Lady Luck. I think we had read this before at the beginning, right? Yeah. Adding that to wares. Talus Tactics, Ultimate Trick Book. I don't think we've read this. A concise guide to winning at the card game Talus, including a robust appendix detailing methods of cheating. This latter appendix appears well thumbed, with certain specific methods starred or underlined. Okay. I'll add that to wares. Could use a guide for playing Caravan. You know what I'm saying? Huh? Okay, let's go over here. Another key to that same chest. Detailed ledger. Oh, we've seen this. Iliasis. Adding to wares. Okay. Anything else on this wing? I don't think so.
These ledgers are never going to
Okay. We can check up here too. I think there was at least, yeah, one cultist. Multiples, in fact. A lot of knives. Adding to wares. We're here.
Nina still needs a cracked skull.
Same stuff.
Less drama working in a bloody festival.
Okay. And let's go down this way. What have you got? Nothing much. What's this person's name? Vaga. I almost thought it said Yaga. I was like, wait. Are all their names actually relevant?
Even scratched.
Okay. More of the same keys. Is it all to the same chest, or are there a whole bunch of them? The Dukes of Baldur's Gate. I think we had read this. Yeah, I think so. I'm adding that to where... Oh, I accidentally just took it. Roll books here. Lower City and Upper City. Shit, I also just took that one accidentally. Have I read this one? I don't know that I have, actually. A guidebook written to assist newcomers in grasping the separation of the upper and lower parts of the city of Baldur's Gate. It describes the upper section as the home of the patriarchs, who are city's nobility caste. It is well patrolled, and its immense wealth shows itself through wide, well-lit streets, shining proudly on buildings of elaborate and elegant decoration. By contrast, the lower section of the city, is a tangle of narrow streets, compact buildings, patrolled not by many guards, but a cornucopia of merchants, craftspeople, chancers, dancers, fools, fabulous vagabonds, cut-purses, young men and women of negotiable affection, barkeeps, beggars, knights, and knaves. So it's where all the cool stuff is. Let's send that to camp. Add that to wares. Good. And these knives as well. Okay. Oh, I almost forgot as well. Some folks had written in letting me know that actually Baldur's Gate, the city, the location, did exist prior to Baldur's Gate 1, right? And the game merely popularized and, of course, added like a shitload more information about it. Right, but make no mistake, it did exist in greater D&D lore. Right? I don't know where I had originally heard that it was made up just for the games. Right? I don't know where I heard that. Hey, just to hopefully nip that in the bud, the like chain reaction of like misinformation. The Watch and the Steel Watch, we've read that. Queen of Kingpins, we've read that. Shift log.
Let me at it.
Anything here? A log of notes kept by those on duty in the vaults of the bank. They detailed the comings and goings of any visitors to the vaults, including any deposits or withdrawals made. They use coded language to preserve some visitors' anonymity, but a recent entry seems pretty straightforward. A representative from the Tsar family visited the vaults in the late evening, depositing an unknown item. Didn't we go by their house or something? Why is Tsar family so familiar? His behavior was unusual, and he responded to standard questions with shock and horror. I reported his strange behavior per protocol, but was told this was to be expected from the representatives of this particular client. No further questions were permitted. Okay. Add that to where's good. Archduke's leadership discipline. My god, another one of those.
Breathe.
More here.
Bloody jobs.
Row books up top again. Protection, Archduke's leadership. Over here. More of them, more same stuff. Books on top. Anything good? You've got friends in the guild. Have I read this? Yeah, I think we have. Yeah, we actually have, I think. Okay. Another row of books here. Homegrown aristocracy, adding to wares. Okay. Hidden rulers of Baldur's Gate, adding to wares again. We've read that. Okay. That's everything. Have we searched all of the enemy bodies? No, we haven't. Here's one more. Another murderous cut.
Elf took 2 guards by
Is murderous cut meant to be a play on murderous cult?
At least things have stayed interesting.
Well, my prayers weren't much bloody
Okay. Let's see. Can I apply? I should probably short rest. I'm going to give that to you. And I guess I'll just short rest, huh? Why not, right? Yeah. Oh, I'm all out of them. Oh, fuck. Oh, right, yeah, I used them all up when we were... Right.
These footprints started in the sewers.
Okay. Yeah, we figured that by the note.
Coming out of my wages.
Would it have been possible to, like, not be able to read that note? Let's pick into this vault. Do a quick save just in case. This one seems a little bit different. It's a vault inside of a vault inside of a vault.
Wonder what's past this.
Okay. No, it's still a difficulty class 30. Sure. Try it again. Nope. Nope. Man, we are using up a whole bunch here. I'm shocked that none of these have booby traps on them. It's just the locks. Like, literally, I think Sorceress Sundries had way better security.
Bloody jobs.
Elegant studded leather. Light armor. Okay. Gain a +2 bonus to initiative, advantage on stealth checks. Shield. After she returned from her confinement at the hands of the demon prince Grazd, the goddess of prosperity, Joaquin, appointed a champion who donned this studded leather and took up arms against those who had schismed and corrupted her church in the interim. Okay. Is that good for, like, Astarion, maybe? I don't think so. I think Astarion's current armor is, like, way better. Right? Yeah. You still, because it's light armor, you still get full dex modifier. You do get advantage on stealth checks and the shield effect. Is that worth it, though? I don't think so. Right, because as a rogue, don't you get the reaction or whatever? That said, maybe you don't have it. Right, because you have 4 points into fighter. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's worth it, though, because we'd be going down 3 points of AC. Right? Astarian's kind of squishy otherwise. Yeah, I wouldn't risk it. And even in saying that, is he really, though? Is he really that squishy? I don't think so. 115? Yeah, I don't believe it. Okay, I'll send it to camp. Sure. There we are. Yeah, probably better for maybe like a like pure rogue, maybe? I don't even know. I don't even know. Because yeah, if you're just a 12-point rogue, don't you get some sort of baked-in reaction if you're attacked? Right, I forget what it's called. But I think you get one.
Attention.
So then the shield is slightly less useful. Silver chalice here on the floor. Okay. I'm very curious how much money is a lot of money, right? Like, what the fuck is money, really? If this is 10k, right? The money belonging to all the common folk within the entire bank. I'm assuming we're excluding potentially, like, double-digit coppers and maybe double-digit silvers, right? Like, could you have 1 gold, 29 silver, 78 copper? Could that be a reality? I would assume so. So maybe that's why, right? They have more complex currency systems. I would believe it. And maybe it even goes up to like platinum or something. Haven't we heard of platinum? I can't remember. Okay, more clothing here. Adding that to wares. Anything else in here? I don't think so. Okay. Sure.
Can't give up now. Swift as my feet can carry
Well,
me.
let's check in with the party real quick.
If I'd have known there was
Minsk puts on quite a show of brawn, even if there's no brain worth mentioning. I mean, I hate to judge the proverbial book, but that oaf may be all cover and no pages.
Okay. Sure. Karlak?
Soldier.
Really? Karlak didn't have anything to say about seeing Minsk. Okay. Jira?
I grow tired of these false faces. Every corner we turn, another. And now it is my face they use to turn Minsk against us. I am sorry, but I am just tired.
Enough sulking, Harper. Now's not the time to grow soft. Why? We know Minsk is alive. Now we just have to find him. Maybe we should have killed him while we had the opening. Of course you're tired. You're ancient, but we still have work to do. Jesus. Oh my god. Should I call her old? Jesus. I feel like that's the appropriate level of like rudeness that my character exhibits, right? Like somewhat rude, but not exactly malicious, you know? Just kind of an a-hole every now and then. Okay, but not in any necessarily meaningful way, given the stakes. Of course you're tired, you're ancient, but we still have work to do. Ha! She likes it.
Bastard.
Okay.
When I left Minsk to this fate, I believed I had no choice. I believe it still. We were ignorant of our enemy, unarmed against the cult. I made the right decision, but I do not like how easily I made it. Minsk would have never left me behind, no matter what happened. That is his problem entire. The past century left Minsk unchanged. And so he believes the world has never changed, that I have not. You saw the fool, hanging on the doppelganger's every word for no other reason than it wears my face.
Well, folks, you may not believe it, but it's true. our good friend Jaheira just might have survivor's guilt. Right? Look, history repeats itself, you know? She's haunted by this. She'll never be free of survivor's guilt in her fucking life. Not after BG2. She'll every waking moment fucking racked by survivor's guilt in some form or another. The cult has other ways of controlling people. Infection, indoctrination. You don't have to explain, Jaheira. You're worried for your friend. It's not a crime. Maybe you haven't changed as much as you think. It doesn't matter. We have to find him. You don't have to explain. You're worried for your friend. It's not a crime.
No. But snotting into my sleeve while there is still work to do is. Come, men. We need a lead on where these shapeshifters have fled to. Let's see what hints they left behind in the vault.
I think a little bit of sleeve snotting now and then is healthy too, right? I think it's healthy, right? I think it's good to vocalize these things among your adventuring party, as it were. Okay. Let's see over here. Good.
I hope you've come to make a lodgment. A city-sized one?
Yeah. Rakath, you're not going to believe it. I just happened to find 5,000 gold just kind of lying around in here. Weird how that works, but here you go.
And not even a whisker light. God, you're a boring bastard. Me too, I suppose.
What are you talking about? I shaved off half of it.
Take this vault key. You'll find something by way of thanks inside.
We paid Rakath out of our own pocket to make up for the bank's loss. Pleased, he rewarded us handsomely.
Money in the end, anyway.
Oh, out of our own pocket? It did acknowledge that we did that, but I wish it went a step further and acknowledged the fact that I kind of just got a shitload of money from their vaults, right? Like, you know, given the prescientness of Act 3 of Baldur's Gate and like where the overarching narrative is, and I really fucking enjoy it a shitload. I almost feel like it's a missed opportunity to not just like legit, like I was joking about at the end, but legitimately I should be able to fuck with the economy of Baldur's Gate here, right? Like I should get like a different ending depending on how I do this, right? Like legit, can I maybe just like take all the money of all the patriarchs that I know of and like redistribute that wealth to the rest of like normal people living in Baldur's Gate? I feel like I ought to be able to, you know? I feel like it should be a reality. Okay. You know, given all the things that Act 3 seems to be delving into. Let's head up over here. Which, if anything, I do really like, not even kidding. I really, really enjoy sort of like the overarching narrative and like, you know, it's political commentary in Act 3. And frankly, thinking back to Acts 1 and 2, it's kind of missing, you know? Like, I kind of wish that they had that same energy in Acts 1 and 2, right? I kind of wish it carried over between them all, right? It's not nearly at the same level as it exists in Act 3. Like, I bet you could make a case for it existing in, right, Act 1 at least, with regards to, like, politic around refugees and whatnot, right? You could definitely have that. But compared to how they lay it on in Act 3, oh my god, in Act 2 was very, like, standard, as far as I can think of, right? Compared to Act 1 and certainly Act 3. Like, what was Act 2 really even saying, you know? Like, sure, you get the cult and, like, the indoctrination and all of that, but it felt like a very, like, cut and dry fantasy adventure without too much to say on a narrative level. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, holy shit, like, I legit wish, like, the entirety of the game had the fucking balls that Act 3 does, right? To just go out there and fucking make all these analogies and allegories and shit that are, like, I don't know, decently obvious, and others maybe not so much, right? Like, it's fantastic, I think. Even if I think there's valid complaint about, like, pacing issues, right? But I'm willing to overlook that because, like I said, the cohesive narrative of it all is pretty decent, right? Throughout the, like, main story quest. And you also get shit going on where, like, a lot of the side quests kind of interlink with it. You know, a lot of the side activities that we deal with in the lower city, right, all tie together to, like, the central themes and politics of the game, in Act 3 at least, right? A lot of it involving, you know, the kids, the explosives, the teddy bears, all of the shit at the printing press, right? Various forms of disparity of wealth, the Iron Hand gnomes, shit like that. You don't really have that same level of, like, cohesive narrative vision in Acts 1 and 2, right? Like, a side quest in Act 1 or in Act 2 feels very much like, okay, it's a side quest, right? Like, it doesn't carry the same amount of weight. And true enough, maybe you had to build up to it? I don't know. Like, there is stuff with the, you know, like the blown out town in Act 1 that you go to where, you know, we fought all the goblins and shit. Right? What was it? Like, not Moonrise, Moon Village or whatever it was, right? Sort of like the first main combat adventure area where, what's-his-name was tied to the windmill. Right? You do kind of have that, right? I don't know. It feels a lot more disparate and not interconnected, you know? Like, the first part that I really enjoyed and, like, felt like it clicked into and honestly felt more cohesive with Act 3's politics, I would say would be the Githyanki Crash, right? The Githyanki Crash was pretty fucking great, you know? The shit at, the Underdark was alright, right? It was okay, but I think you could still kind of conflate it for a bit of, like, typical fantasy tropes, right? With regards to, like, their slavery and shit involving the Dwagar and the gnomes, right? Like, it wasn't like aiming for such exquisite heights as we get here in Act 3, you know, if that makes any sense, right? Like, I would love to see this kind of energy carry on throughout the entire game, right? For as, like I said, I do get, like, qualms that folks may have with Act 3, where the pacing is definitely different from the first two acts, right? Because we can certainly, like, the city is so dense, we could just spend so much time, like, fucking around inside of someone's house, right? Just looking around inside basements and shit like that. But there's an undeniable amount of, like, narrative through line in, like, its messaging that I feel like is totally fantastic, you know? And, like I said, is either outright missing in the first two acts or is definitely not, like, hitting the same way as it does in the third act, right? And just the way in which it's able to connect everything together, like I had mentioned with regards to, like, side quests and all of that. And I kind of alluded to this toward the end of Act 2, right? When the sort of, like, overarching narrative and, like, side quests and stuff are kind of, like, a little bit uninteresting or a little bog standard like fantasy, it's held up by two things. The incredible character writing of the companion cast, right? That's fucking amazing. It definitely carries it throughout the early parts, where the narrative, the like overarching narrative and messaging and like its overall thesis of the game's story might be a little bit lacking in Acts 1 and 2. That carries it, and as well, just the ridiculous like production value insofar as like, you know, animations, voice line, but also notably the vast amount of reactivity, right? The reactivity also I would include in production value and would say that also really fucking carries it too, right? But man, I don't know. I think narratively speaking, Act 3, like I said, I definitely see some weaknesses of it, but I really appreciate like the guts it has to fucking like do what it's doing here, right? And like I said, I kind of wish like more parts of the game were like it, right? Am I wrong? Am I fucking off base here? Like, we literally went into a fucking printing press and shit. Like, we got fucking shit involving like the game analyzing a police state, you know? Like, it's fucking wild what they're getting up to here in Act 3. There's like nothing in Act 1 and 2 really compare, right? It's wild. Let's see, I'm gonna quick save here because I'm just a little scared about this. Okay, you know, we should probably go to camp, right? There we are. Good. Okay. And just as well, I don't know. That's also part of the complicated situation of it and why it is definitely, like, sure, I can levy the critique, but how would I fucking do it, right? That's the real challenge of it, because at the same time, maybe some of what's making Act 3 hit so good is the fact that, like, there was so much slow buildup in the first two. But surely there's a world in which you can have both, right? The slow buildup, but still have, like, that sort of biting analysis and commentary that exists here in Act 3, you know? Surely they're not mutually exclusive, right? But like I'd mentioned before, astounding character writing and just the sheer ridiculous level of reactivity and like permutations of different routes really help carry any time where the game is like feeling a little bit slower in those early goings on, you know? And you're also kind of just mystified by like, ooh, cool new game, right? Okay, let's chat with everyone else. Let's see if they have anything
All
to
the places I expected would find this Minsk, crawling from the broken jaws of a mimic, wasn't high on my list. What's life without a few surprises, eh?
Okay, good talk. Over here. Lazel.
Is something burdening you?
Alright, sure. Okay, over here. Shadowheart? Anything?
Minsk. He seemed to believe that doppelganger was truly Jaheira. A sure sign he's being manipulated.
Shadowheart, when you say it like that, you make me think that maybe he isn't and he's just dumb. Shadowheart, when you say it that way, you make me think that he could just be being Minsk and maybe he doesn't realize it, right? Maybe he doesn't know. When you say shit like a sure sign he's being manipulated, that makes me think maybe he's not. Maybe he thinks it's true. Right? My favorite bald bastard, look, he's good at doing a lot of things, and getting clued in on shit ain't one of them, right? But you know what? We still love him nonetheless, right? All right, Will?
Minsk is being tricked. By the hells, we've got to rip him away from that shapeshifter.
Okay, fair enough. Can I talk to you again?
Always good to talk, my friend.
Okay, sure. Well, you might want to... I sent you some stuff through the magic inventory system. You might want to look at some of that. buddy, you might want to read through some of that shit I sent you. I don't know. Or, you know, there was a cool mace. It had some interesting flavor text. I don't know if that's your cup of tea, but I don't know. I just feel like, man, you should probably look into that. I feel like we should be talking about that. All right. Well, regardless, when next we return, I think we'll do a long rest, get rested up. We'll see if we have some kind of fucked up, weird situation when we sleep. Who knows? I'm assuming not. We're probably gonna be fine. And then, it sounds like we need to go to a cistern, right? We need to pay a cistern a visit. Until next time, please take care of each other.